Strap yourselves in tight because I got a lot to show you. Kick it! Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. I know we have a lot to choose from. Appreciate all your likes and subs and comments. And for anyone just simply watching me babble about stuff. Been selling some stuff on eBay. Sold some action figures from the Avengers. Sold a few soundtrack albums. T-shirt, concert T-shirt from Foo Fighters concert. I don't want it anymore. Just various stuff. And I thought, man, for the next few weeks, I'm just going to sell. I'm not going to buy anything new. Yeah. Oh, well, here we go. A lot of stuff happened in the last 2-3 weeks. And let's go through it. So this is a action figure of the Attack of the Clones. I know a lot of people don't like the Part 1, Part 2, Part 3 of Star Wars, but I kind of like them. This is Zam Wesell. This is the first character kind of you see in that movie, and then she turns into a lizard and all that stuff. That was good. It was like $1, so what the hell. I went to an estate sale, and everything was really cheap. They're just trying to unload stuff. You know, flippers were first in line. They grabbed all the toys and everything like that. I just patiently walked around and looked for stuff, you know. I found these. I thought this was a laser disc, but it's a video disc of the Warriors. And it was $1. So I bought a few of these, and I'm just putting them on eBay to see if there's any interest in them. Apparently video discs were played more like a LP, where it was like a little stylus thing, I guess, and that shows you it. So it's not like a CD or a laser disc, it's a video disc. So I bought some movies that I thought were interesting for people might want to go. This one's currently bidding like $20 on eBay for the next few days. You got a chance to get it for all of you video disc people out there. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Learn something new every day. I never knew that those even existed. A store around me was closing, and they were having an auction to get rid of stuff. And I jumped on a few items I thought were pretty good at a really good price. Less than the cheapest price on eBay, so I figured that was a good way to go about it. This is the Love Gun Kiss figure set. So it's just got 4 of these figures from, how the hell did it open? So it's like the Love Gun era Kiss. Can you see that? So it's pretty cool. It's got 4 little dudes and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I think it was $40. I think the cheapest one on eBay was like 60 to 80 or something like that, so not bad. Speaking about Kiss, I also picked up some cheap magazines that were at the store. They were just getting rid of for a few bucks. I love the old Circus magazine. My mom used to subscribe me to Circus, and I used to also get Kerrang, Cream, Hit Parader, Rolling Stone, Spin, Alternative Press as the years went on. But in the 80s, it was all about Circus and Hit Parade and Cream. Circus with Foreigner in it from 1979. Also from a Circus from 1979. The back cover is really cool. A Kiss ad for Dynasty. This was an ad I found in another magazine for Kiss plush dolls, or Kish plus dolls. I have the Ace one. He's in the other room. And also, yeah, I bought a box of Battlestar Galactica cards. It was filled with cards in here, and I forgot I already had a lot of cards. So with the amount of cards in here, I was able to complete my set. Nerd! And the cards I didn't use, I sold on eBay for like $20. And they had also these on it, these wrappers, so it's kind of cool. Let's see, so I bought this at the flea market, like $10 I think. I love Devo, and I don't know, I'm not really big into Funko Pops anymore. I have a few of the hockey ones and the musician ones, but I guess this one is a Devo one. I've never had the Soda Pop Funko Pops. I thought it would be interesting to open it up here on live camera in case anyone gets hurt. So this is the Pop Top. Us old guys know the Pop Top. That's how you drink. That's how you drink your soda, your Coke, your Pop, whatever you want to call it. But you don't actually open it by that. I was watching people on. I had to actually YouTube how to open these because I didn't want to ruin it. So I guess you just go like this. And it just screws open. If you're strong. What the hell? Broken nail. And we're going to see Barbie tonight with my wife. I'll be going to the movie with broken nails. What the hell, Can? Oh, thank God. 8 hours later. So I do have a lot of music, video tapes, show you, CDs, vinyl, of course, because this is a vinyl channel. But yeah, so I got this. So I guess I didn't get the one that's a special one. There's one that glows in the dark, but I won't be able to look at it because it'll be dark anyway. So this is a Devo guy. This part I can open up a lot quicker, I think. Oh, it's a little. And he's a little pop. Boy, they package it well. It's just plastic, isn't it? All right. So yeah, it's a little Devo dude there. A Devo dude. Biscayne, punk band from Illinois, from the Burbs. It came out in 2001. I believe they only had like 2 releases and then they were done. Catherine came out in 98. Again, like I think the band had like 2 releases and they were done. You might remember Catherine because they sounded a lot like Smashing Pumpkins, and a few of the Pumpkins appeared on their album. Tried to help them out and all that, but they just never broke through, obviously, like the Pumpkins did. The Cult, this one came out in 1994. This was their 6th release. In 94, people really weren't grooving on the Cult. Fortunately, the Cult kind of got pushed, not really where they belonged with, like, I would say, I don't know, Cure and, like, the rock bands or alternative rock bands. They got pushed more to be lumped in with, the hair bands, so then they didn't, people weren't as into them as their career went on, I guess you might say. But anyway, it's a good release. Good. I like the Cult. Still a band I have never seen live. I got The Danger in 2003. This is 3 songs. Good old rock and roll band there. I got Enough's Enough Tweaked. Enough's Enough is a heavy metal glam hair band, but really more of a power pop band here from Chicago area. They're still going out and playing. And I have a lot of their albums. They have like 1 million albums. And this is one of the ones I didn't have. So Tweaked, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but this one came out in 94. And this is their 5th album. Pop punk band from Chicago. Full Hot Dog Water Cocktail. Silly names we all used to give our releases way back then. Came out in 98, and I believe this is their one and done full-length kind of release. Michael Monroe, of course, the singer from Hanoi Rocks. He had a few solo albums. This is his 2nd solo album. He's from Finland. And this came out in 89. It's good old heavy rock and roll. It's good stuff. Michael Monroe. Space Hog, kind of an alternative rock band that I kind of ignored. I heard their a few hits that would get played on like 120 minutes or stuff like that. I just wasn't too into them, but now I'm willing to give them a good chance. I got their 1st album. I showed that off in an earlier video. This is their 2nd album called The Chinese Album. And this came out in 98. Now this is why you go and look through stuff, because you never know what you're going to find, especially when someone's like, hey, look through my CDs, you can have whatever you want. This is the band that when I moved back to the Chicago area in 2008, I was just looking online at groups and heard this band V-Sparks, and they are a good glam rock band. Like you would think it was like the 70s and you listen to glam rock, not hair metal glam rock, but the earlier glam rock. And it is just sweet rock and roll with that sweet glam sound. These kids are doing it right. V-Sparks. Now their singer has gone off to be in a cover band, and then he came back, and then so I don't know what they're currently doing now, but this release was from 2007, and if you're ever in any way to hear it online, you probably won't find a CD, but I finally got the hard copy of the CD. But if you can hear them online, if you like that kind of music, check them out. They're called V-Sparks. V-Sparks, and I can't tell you enough about how cool it is to hear, I call them kids just making great sounds. So yeah, this came out in 2007, which, wow, now it's 16 years ago. Oh, time, you are evil. A band called the Panthers, never heard of them. This came out in 04. I think they had like 2 albums. This is, of course, the promo release version of it. Good old rock and roll from New York City. Just anxious to get that. I just figured, it's a promo. It's skinny. I can fit this along with my big stack of CDs. And this isn't all the CDs I got from them, so this is just a little bit. So thank you very much for Laura and Chuck from Clubfoot for providing me a bunch of free stuff. Music of Chicago Part 2, This Was Your Life, a comp of a lot of Chicago bands. The biggest one you would know would be Wesley Willis Fiasco with Casper the Homosexual Friendly Ghost. That was his contribution to this. Came out in 96. So yeah, I was heavily involved in the music scene. I was more into the punk scene. I think a lot of these are like the indie or the rock bands of the time, so it'll give me a chance to listen to that. Indie label, rock band label of the time was Pravda Records from 85 to 95. This is a look at some of the bands that they had like the new Duncan Imperials. So yeah, glad to listen to that. Before we get to the next stack of CDs, I know so much stuff, and I didn't want to buy anything. I seriously was like, I'm just going to sell, put the proceeds in my savings, and nope. Here I go buying everything. And this was a movie that I wanted to get for a while. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. Features Mr. David Bowie. This was an eBay purchase, I think for like $8. It's hard to find on DVD here in the States. So I will gladly play this on VHS and transfer it to DVD because I got one of those dual machines. This was at a flea market I was just at. It was like $1. Air Supply on VHS. Air Supply is one of those, like, you know, like the Bee Gees, Air Supply, John Denver, stuff like this. Makes you kind of feel good, their songs. Was it an artist that I love? No, but it just kind of makes you feel good in that mood. Just to check it out. Not a big fan at all of country music, but just to check it out. She's in the Hall of Fame now, so Miss Dolly Parton, live in London. Got that on VHS for $1. Elvis Aloha from Hawaii. Watched this a million times, but hey, I think I have even a copy of this, but now I have 2 copies. That was $1. Def Leppard in the Round, In Your Face Live. I went to this tour. It was Tesla opening up for Def Leppard. It was an amazing time. I think it was '89. I bought a tour shirt there, and the band, you know, it was their heyday. Good stuff there. Mr. Big Live. I saw them open up for Rush around 90-ish. And this is soon after that, you know, they recorded this, so anxious to hear that. Silent Rage, I bought a lot of VHS tapes. This is like 80% of them. The only reason I'm showing this is this movie. This is one of the first, I think we had On TV, or we had a hot box, like a pirated version of On TV when I was a kid. We're on all the time. Silent Rage. Chuck Norris just kills a serial killer and he takes him down. You can't beat Chuck Norris. Sheena Easton. Every kid in the 80s had the hot for Sheena Easton. Strut, Sugar Walls, Swear, Back in the City. It was like a video collection, a Video 45 series. So yeah, I can't wait to watch this and relive the good old times. Sheena Easton in the 80s. Wow. Alright, sexism aside, let's go through some more CDs. Rush, the broadcast archives. I think this is a bunch of bootlegs put on CD to look kind of official. It's got like 80s pictures of Rush, but these are all from like 74, 75. I won't open it. It's 4 concerts. I think all 4 of these have been pretty much seen before. One more stack of CDs and we're getting to that vinyl. AC/DC, their second release, was available in Australia only. It's called TNT. I do have it on LP, which is one of my most valuable albums. But I picked it up on CD, so that way I can throw it in the old iTunes there upstairs. So it's nice to have that. Of course, Let There Be Rock, their 4th album from 1977. Finally got that on CD as well. Of course, had that on vinyl ever since I was a kid. Also, If You Want Blood, that's their live album. Mr. Bon Scott. This is the second one with Brian Johnson. For those about the rock, I liked Evil Walks, COD, Inject the Venom. So I liked a lot of the songs. The big song is, of course, For Those About the Rock. We Salute You with the Cannon. But I love all the other songs too. Of course, again, produced by John Mutt Lange. Devo, this CD wasn't a few dollars. This was like $28. Who's paying $28 for a CD? I know, I love Devo. You're welcome. These early CDs just aren't, you can't find them. It came out 84. This was their 6th album. I don't know exactly when the CD came out, but it's for the album Shout. And like I said, there certain CDs you could find no problem, but the early ones of like Shout and a few of their other albums is really hard to find. Bought this also at the flea market. This was Alkaline Trio. It's called Remains. Alkaline Trio is a kind of a pop punk band. They did a lot of the Warped tours way back then from the Chicago area. This also, the reason why I bought it is includes a little tour movie, I think, like 2 hours. So this is like a compilation of a lot of the early stuff. And I believe it's supposed to include like a 2-hour tour movie of them on the road. I love watching bands on the road. I miss being on the road. Another band from Chicago area, pop punk band, went to a major label and now back in the indie world. It's still putting out quality music. This is their first album. This is the one that started it all, the first full length. It was on Johann's Face Records out of Chicago. Came out in 1994. Talking about Smoking Popes Get Fired. Had it on vinyl ever since it came out. But finally got it on CD. Realized I didn't have it on CD. I'm in the point now where every album that I love, I need to have on vinyl and CD. And some I'm getting vinyl, CD, and cassette. It's an addiction. It's a collector's addiction. You guys that have it know what I'm talking about. I used to be happy with just the CD or just the vinyl, but if I really love something, I have to have both. Lord help me. Speaking about God and gods and Thor and the power of everything, Manowar, The Triumph of Steel. This is their 7th album from 1992. Like I said, 91 is when Nirvana hit, and it kind of put a kibosh on a lot of the heavy metal stuff. It went kind of underground, where really things are good when they're underground. But this is their 7th album from 1992. So at the time, I wasn't really listening to stuff like Manowar. I'd kind of pushed that aside so I can get into indie rock and alternative rock and punk rock. But I'm revisiting a lot of the stuff now. I do have their big album, I think 2 before this, on vinyl. I don't have a lot of Manowar on vinyl, but anyway, Eric Adams does a great job of screaming and singing. The first song on this one, this is The Triumph of Steel. The first song on this one's like a half hour long. And I gotta say, like 10 minutes into it, to me it just seemed like a drum solo. I will need to revisit it, because I'm sure it's a great song, but I was like, okay, track two, I need to hit track 2. Yes, I have a CD player in my car, and yes, that was my pressing the CD thing to go to track 2. Track 2 was Metal Warriors. Then you have Ride the Dragon, Spirit Horse of the Cherokee. Spirit Horse is a great song. Yeah, if you're not into metal, you're no friend of mine. I love Manowar, and I will try to revisit that first song, but last night I just wasn't in the mood. Enough's enough. I talked to them earlier, talk about them now. This is the Question Mark album. Came out in 2004. This is their 11th album. And not a great cover art. You're really not going to get too many people interested in it. And I listened to it. It's more towards the power pop side of them than the glam rock side, the glam rock, the hairband glam rock side you'd hear of them on their first album. But it's also got a cover of Stone Cold Crazy from Queen. Yeah, it's got some really quality stuff there. Weston, a pop punk band from the Pennsylvania area. This came out in '96. That's when pop punk was having a resurgence. This is their second and last release, I believe. Came out on Go-Kart Records. Really good pop punk stuff. People in Pennsylvania that are into the punk scene, I'm sure they've all heard of them. They're really popular. Played a few shows with them back in the day. Speaking about punk, '92, this is their second release, Jawbreaker. Like I said, had it on vinyl right when it came out. Finally glad to have it on CD. I think this is the only Jawbreaker one I didn't have on CD. If you haven't heard Jawbreaker, you need to hear Jawbreaker. Megadeth, like a lot of bands that I like, trying to complete the catalog. Euthanasia was one of the ones I didn't have on CD. I didn't like this as much as I thought I was going to like it, because it's from an era that I really loved their sound. But yeah, I still, my favorite from them is Peace Sells, and it's, But I like the one that people don't like, Risk. I like that one, and people don't like it. I think the only one I need from them, I've gotten everything. I need a Super Collider. I think after I get that, I have all of their albums. Yeah, I have all the Megadeth albums. I'm pretty cool. Speaking about being cool and being heavy metal, Dave Grohl, who's in every band under the sun, currently in Foo Fighters, was a drummer for Nirvana. I don't need to tell you that. Probot, I've always heard of this album, never heard it. It's got a bunch of big names in the heavy metal world, and they are singing songs that I guess he wrote and played all the instruments on, pretty much. Probot. I know the vinyl's hard to find, but came across a CD for just a few bucks. Picked that up. Scorpions, Blackout. When I was a kid, I always thought they were saying Breakout for some reason. I don't know if it was because the video of No One Like You was filmed in Alcatraz, and he's like breaking out of jail. But this is my first Scorpion albums I got in '82. My first Scorpion, oh my god, so this is what I thought Scorpions were all about. And they pretty much haven't changed their sound that drastically. I know the early Scorpions kind of a whole nother sound, but since Blackout, they've gotten a little more poppy, maybe. But yeah, this is a great album. China White, Now, No One Like You, of course, Blackout, Can't Live Without You. It's great stuff. I had this on LP forever, so finally glad to have it on CD. And that is not Rudolf Schenker. A lot of people think that's him with the forks in the eyes. And it actually went like this to a Halloween party once where nobody were Scorpions fans and nobody knew what the hell I was doing. Vinnie Vincent Invasion. This is their second one with Mark Slaughter, who would form Slaughter. This is when he was still putting up with Mr. Vinnie Vincent. You got Bob Rock on drums, who's now playing it with Lita Ford out there in the rock world. This is from 1988. It's got the song Love Kills. That was from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. And yeah, this is the Vinnie Vincent Invasion. Where did I write info about this? This is their second album, yeah, from 1988. I really like the high-pitched vocals and the cheesy heavy metal stuff like that. The uncheesy heavy metal stuff is, of course, Ronnie James Dio singing with his Black Sabbath friends. They didn't want to call it Black Sabbath. They called it Heaven and Hell. Again, I have this on vinyl. It's one of my more valuable vinyls, but I was glad to get it on CD, too, so I can play that in the old car. I thought I had this on CD. It's one of these albums, like, of course I have it. But I had it on vinyl, and I have all the other early Ozzy CDs. Early, meaning the first, like, 4 or 5 of his albums. His career is kind of, I don't really pay attention to it too much anymore, because really the early stuff is all you need. Solo stuff from him is all you need. Diary of a Madman, and I promise I'm still going to do that video sometime soon of Blizzard of Oz versus Diary of a Madman, which one is better. And last but not least with the CDs, this video is already, what, like 20 minutes old? Queensryche, The Warning. Jeff Tate and his beautiful voice there, screaming away. This is good stuff. This is The Warning. I have this on soundtrack album. I just wanted to get the 12-inch version of the single. It's just like a $2 album, so I figured why not. Weird Science. Oingo Boingo, of course, playing that song, Weird Science. I messed up. I usually try to peel the stickers off, but if I notice a really old sticker, I won't try. But I tried because I was having luck with the other 2 stickers that were on here, and I ruined the album cover, but yeah. Yes, this is their 12th album from 1987. Of course, John Anderson's voice is in a league of its own. This is Generator, or Big Generator. What the hell is this one called? Big Generator. Where's the word generator? Just the word big is on the cover. Oh, the word generator is on their side. Duh. This album skips like a mofo, and I've cleaned it. I don't have a cleaning machine, but I have like a brush, and it skips less, but it still skips. And so side 2's fine, but side 1, man, is it skippy. Nothing pisses you off more than like, oh, come on, and oh, another skip, and oh, crying out loud, and you just frisbee it across the room. This record is a tribute to Pierre Kedzie. Pierre Kedzie, long-time bass player in Naked Raygun, also did his stint in Pegboy. A great bass player, a great guy. I was lucky enough and honored enough early when I was getting into the punk scene here in the Chicago area to meet him. He even had me and a few other people over to his house to talk about the scene and everything. Great guy, soft-spoken guy, wonderful guy, taken away from us way too soon. So yeah, a lot of bands did Naked Raygun songs in his honor. Face to Face did an amazing job. Josh Carter, the singer from the Smokin' Popes, he did a lot of bands just tried to kind of just, play the song and recreate it. Only a few were like, all right, let's try to make this our own. It's hard because around here, Naked Raygun is like sacred, so you don't want to screw their stuff up. But yeah, Josh did a great job with his version of Knock Me Down. But yeah, this is a great album, a great tribute to Pierre, who is greatly missed. Roger Hodgson, the singer of Supertramp, of course, like John Anderson from Yes, a league of his own with his voice. This is a solo album, In the Eye of the Storm. My little app wasn't working that well on the phone because it would have told me I already own this, so I bought it twice. Had a Dream, Sleeping with the Enemy was like a video played on MTV a little bit, but yeah, his solo career never broke anywhere near what Supertramp was. Ministry, formed in 81. This was a live album from 86. So this is still their early years when they were kind of electronic pop band. I enjoy all avenues that this group and Al Jorgensen has went throughout their whole career. The thrash and then all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the early pop stuff is fun. So this is a live show from Toronto. Every Day is Halloween. Over the Shoulder. Shoulder. It's not shoulder. It's shoulder. And then playing in Toronto, it should have been shoulder, eh? But no, it was shoulder. those of you that don't know over the shoulder, like, I don't know what Brian's having fit. Is he having a conniption? Gary Newman, of course, In Cars is what you know. I did finally see him live just a few years ago. He's amazing. This album I may have owned before, and then like, I don't like it. It's a little weird. It's really poppy weird. It's Dance. It's his third one from '81, but I played it now. I bought this copy and played it, and I kind of liked it. So maybe it's a release that's going to grow on me. I don't know. Pink Floyd, Not Now John, from the Final Cut. Their 12th album is Pink Floyd, the last one with Roger Waters. Some would argue the Final Cut is more of a Roger Waters solo album using material he didn't use for The Wall. I don't know. It's enough Pink Floyd sound album that to me it's Pink Floyd. Not Now John. And it has a part 2 of a song that said unreleased. That's why I bought it. The Heroes Return, parts 1 and 2. Part 2 was previously unreleased. Kind of sounds like part 1, but it's cool. I like Pink the Floyd. Misfits, this is a kind of weird unofficial version of this album from Russia. Static Age by the Misfits. Pick this up, like I said, it's from Russia. Of course, I don't want to promote anything Russian right now, but love the Misfits. This, I've had this for a few weeks now, and just finally got through listening to it. I would call this the last great U2 album, or the last very good U2 album. Since then, it's been hit or miss. This is their 7th album. Of course, now they have probably, I don't know, 100 albums. This is from 1991. I was in a very emotional state. 91 was in my first big love, and then got broken up with and needed emotional music. Here steps in U2 with Achtung Baby. You know, you listen to One, even better than the real thing. Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses? It just helps you. So it helped me. Thanks, Bono. You helped me. U2. So yeah, this is, it's a good one. You know, it's Fly Persona started around now and stuff. This is a band I still have not ever seen live, but I probably missed that boat because I think early U2 is great, and since then it's just been interesting. Ned's Atomic Dustspin. This is the second of 3 albums. This is from '92. Like I said, they only had a 3-album career. This is from Music on Vinyl, which is from the UK, I believe. Music on Vinyl, I really like their products, so I subscribe to them. When I see an album that they're going to repress, reissue, I usually jump on it if it's something I want. This is number 233 of this album. Like I said, this is their 2nd album. This is Are You Normal? I saw them on this tour. It was a really great show. I do like their first one a little more, but Are You Normal is still a great album from Ned's Atomic Dustbin. Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. This was a single. Got this for like $25 or $20. Store was having 20% off on all their vinyl. So I got this. It has Remember Tomorrow live from Italy on the flip side of it. Love Number of the Beast. Great song. Iron Maiden is just a complete package. Heavy metal, the artwork, the sounds. Iron Maiden. I mean, come on. The Wall. This really is one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. This isn't the Pink Floyd album. This is a recreation of The Wall from a bunch of like grungy rock and roll type bands. It's got In the Flesh from the Melvins. Now the Melvins are the only band that I know out of, what is there, like 20 some bands on this. And I only listened to one song so far. I put on side C. I was trying to put on side 1, and I grabbed the wrong one. It's a double record set. And I played Hey You by Summoner, and it was great. So I'm hoping the whole album is great. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's artwork is amazing looking, and it's The Wall by a bunch of groups I've never heard of. Yeah, I don't know when it came out or anything, but that's music, man. So yeah, I won't see you guys for the next 5 years because I have to listen and watch all this crap that I've consumed for Brian's Funhouse. But hey, thanks for watching.